Imagine a royal melody creating a story that transports you 500 years into the past. A place where kings and queens once ruled through a vicious throne and lived life through the passing of the crown. What's up, y'all? My name's Nixon Fuchs, and today we're going to be taking a deep dive into the rap subgenre of Regalia. Some might say that this is a forgotten rap genre, but no time seems like a better time than 2024 to create this music. Regalia, a word used to describe the traditional clothes and decorations of royalty, especially the crown or other distinct emblems carried or worn at other formal events for an indication of status. Regalia and music is often associated with big orchestral halls and epic horn sections that give an ambience in a track that is almost unmatched. Derived from a growing interest in plug music, producers like RoyalAnsem and Reset had been incorporating a new sound into the growing landscape of modern hip-hop. These new style of beats consisted of orchestral sounds instead of opting for a synth on every track. Grand string arrangements and dark reverberating horns create an elegant yet dark sound that is the base for most Regalia beats. The percussion on these beats are slower than traditional plug music, giving a euphoric feeling as the lead rises into the first beat drop. A big inspiration for the modern sounds of these beats are video games like Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy. With heavy orchestral soundtracks being present in both games, as well as large amounts of ambience in the tracks, it's no denial that these sounds and imagery would spark as inspirations for Regalia. The term Regalia used in modern hip-hop can be traced back to a couple producers, one of them being RoyalAnsem, also known as So Royal. He's a producer from Montreal, Canada, that was inspired by the plug and glow scenes coming from the underground, producing singles in 2020 like Go Talk from Goonie and Heartbreaker from a rising Devstacks. The young producer started to build a catalog of underground bangers that he became respected for. Evolving his sound through 2021 into the modern Regalia we would recognize today, he continued to push out tracks and get work with more artists. Blow by Lassie was an earlier track that had all of the elements of a typical Regalia beat with the young Lassie carrying the flow. Reaching a new level with the sound later that year, artist Jace and producer RoyalAnsem created Fuck Jace, a Regalia classic that carries a lot of the core patterns and progressions while also showing the future improvement and diversity that could be created within the subgenre. Royal and Jace continued to push out bangers to the underground, while other producers were working behind the scenes to further the sound. Another producer that worked closely with RoyalAnsem and Jace was a producer named Reset, also known as Fuck Reset, a 19-year-old producer out of New Jersey who gained most notoriety after producing for artists like Jace and Devstacks. Some of Reset's first works were with artists like Northzan and AME, as well as beats that he was uploading to his YouTube. These consist of
Playboy Cardi.
Yeah.
type beats dating back to 2022. Devstacks was an artist that was seen working often with Reset, having a lot of Reset production in his early tracks. Money on It and Do You Understand were two of the best and most influential Devstacks songs that Reset produced. Although having an extensive catalog working with many artists, there were a few key songs that helped Reset, as well as Royal, reach their status of producing. They were both producers on one of Jace's breakout hits, Fuck Jace, that really catapulted the Regalia sound into popularity. Royal and Reset continued to work together on production for Jace and other artists, creating a flood of Regalia type beats and starting a new wave of subgenre in the underground. Speaking of Jace, he would be considered the most popular artist to use Regalia beats and popularize the Regalia sound to a wider audience in the underground. Although he experimented with almost every genre that has been popular in the underground, he has garnered attention and gained credit as being one of the only artists to push Regalia to a mainstream level. Songs like Come Here and Oh Lord, both having music videos released in January of 2022, created the initial blow-up for Jace to a wider audience, following the successful release of the single Fuck Jace the year, with the songs Come Here and Oh Lord being produced by Evasion 2K. The beats used more ambient sounds than the typical Regalia beat, but they would still fit the mold for what the sounds of Regalia could be and evolve to. Producers Royal and Reset continued to work with Jace, getting out a number of successful singles with their duo production. Songs like God and Lord Close 1 and 2, that blew up as unreleased songs, were typical Regalia bangers, a part of Jace's constant climb to the top of the underground. Another artist that had a load of production from Royal and Reset was Devstacks, having almost 20 released songs with their production combined, but never on the same track together. It's interesting that a main Regalia producing duo doesn't have a song with Devstacks, while raving classics with other artists. This may be because Dev focuses a lot on his own production and wanted to stand out from the crowd to create a unique development of Regalia, or because Reset is mainly the one working with Dev. Royal produced one of Devstacks' breakout singles, Heartbreaker, with the music video following in 2021. It was no denying that this sound was the start of what Regalia could become, but the sound heard a lot of key development from the release of that single. Reset would play a big part in creating Regalia production for Devstacks, who had been using and pushing the genre since his initial releases in 2020. Other artists that had been pushing the Regalia genre heavy were artists Northzan and AME. I wasn't able to find AME's Instagram for a while, but I see now that most of his stuff is deleted, and he's starting to stream now. Northzan, on the other hand, continues to drop and push his music career pretty consistently, rightfully so, as he is still making fire music. Northzan having a lot of production from Reset, while AME mainly had production from Royal. Songs like Gilly by AME and Control by Northzan are two fire songs produced both by Royal and Reset that show what the sounds of Regalia had evolved into and how they could continue to evolve using a darker, more ambient sound. It's in no denial that Royal and Reset have created some legendary production together, but there is a surplus of solo production tracks with all of these artists that give perfect examples of what the modern genre of Regalia is. At this point, Regalia could be considered a forgotten genre in the underground because of a decline in popularity, as well as other genres becoming more popular and viral, as well as more sought after to rap on. Not to discredit Regalia, but it might not be the new trending sound anymore. That doesn't mean that it can't be further developed and created into an even better subgenre. Although Regalia did peak in the underground around 2022, core fans still remain strong listening and supporting the top artists that continue to push that sound. With artists like AME putting a halt on their rap career and other artists not making the genre entirely, Regalia may not become the most popular genre in the underground, but key artists and producers will continue to push the sound further than it's ever been in the past. With artists like Jace hyping up the Reverence 2 project to end up letting some fans down, we will have to look forward to see what type of Regalia bangers these artists are going to be looking to put out. But with that, we're going to be wrapping this one up. Have a good day, folks. Let me know down below what you think of the most recent Jace project and if you would be interested in seeing any album reviews. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that shite, and I'm outta here.